What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about why Pokemon Legends Arceus is the future of Pokemon games in many different ways, and I feel that the Pokemon company is going to capitalize on what Pokemon Legends Arceus has done so far, because this game is taking the world by storm, and I don't think that's cap or that's an exaggeration. There's nearly 500,000 people at any point streaming Pokemon Legends Arceus on Twitch. The game is #1 in various different regions, on different Amazon sales charts, on eShop as well, and many retail stores even sold out of Pokemon Legends Arceus on its launch day. So this is going to be a pretty huge game overall, and I think the Pokemon company is going to see what is happening and want to implement multiple different things. But what are those things, and why is it going to be the future for those who haven't played it, or maybe if you're just interested, why it is? Well, let's talk about the seamlessness. I think that the seamlessness of this game is something that you really can't go back to after playing Pokemon Legends. Seriously, like, there's so many times where I'm just playing the game and I am in awe at how quick it is to pull out a Pokemon, throw the Pokeball, catch the Pokemon, catch another one that's right next to it, go right into a battle, get your experience, even farm some stuff that's on the field. Just do all of these things, and it doesn't feel like you're constantly going through menus. You're constantly stopping and starting. You're constantly going through and saying, okay, well, let me get this and that. I've talked about it before, but as you play the game, it even gets more and more apparent that what they've done before is just something that they can't really go forward with again in the future. Now, there's some things in this game with the seamlessness of having the Pokemon out in the open that the Pokemon company, Game Freak, have already implemented into previous games. Pokemon Let's Go, for example. Also, Pokemon Sword and Shield had the wild area to where you did see the Pokemon, but then it loaded up a battle screen. Same thing with the other Pokemon games, loading up battle screens, loading into that. And that creates a little bit of a break when you see the people kind of go, okay, here we go. Whereas with Legends, it's just right then and there. You just get right into it, and that creates an experience that's far more immersive and just better from just a gameplay. Like, you don't have to load in and load out of those every single time, and even if the loading is fast, which a lot of the times it is in these previous Pokemon games, not having that screen is better than having to go into it. A game like Tales of Arise, for example, still loads you into it, and although it's super fast because of the PS5 SSD, it's still not as seamless as not having it at all. Something that Chrono Trigger did really well, just having the screen just go in right there and not load into a battle screen. So I do think that this is the future when it comes to that, and being able to move your character around during the battle. And while it's still turn-based, just having that option to fight, to know that you're going to win, and then just run away. I'm going to hit the Pokemon with the move, then I'm going to head over here to get this thing or to start the next Pokemon battle. That creates more immersion. That creates a better gameplay experience. So the seamlessness is probably one of the most important things about Pokemon Legends, and the fact that if you want to run away from a battle, you just keep running till you just go away from your Pokemon, and he'll just run away, or she'll just run away depending on what avatar you picked. These are things that are just, you can't really go back to the way that it was before. I mean, you can if you play the previous games, but going forward, I would love to see all the Pokemon games implement this. And I'm guessing that they're going to go forward with two styles of games, which would be the Legend style and also the regular Pokemon Sword and Shield, Gold and Silver, stuff like that, but carry over quite a number of things here. Now let's talk about the next thing, and that is exploration. This Pokemon game, despite the graphics not being as good as I would like them to be, or at least what they could be running on the Nintendo Switch, the exploration is still fun. You'll still see little shiny things in the background. You'll still go out there and want to explore. You'll still pick up the medicinal leeks, and you'll still pick up things and want to craft and want to explore and want to collect and want to just do all this different stuff that's in the game. You can soar through the skies, you can swim through the lakes and sea, and you can also ride on the weird deer too. So there's just so many different options to explore this land. And if they continue to improve that geography that they do have, and they continue to improve the graphics, it's even going to get better and better. But even with how it is right now, the exploration is just fantastic. In previous Pokemon games, the exploration resulted in like looking inside trash cans for like Pokeballs and just seeing like a Pokeball just floating or just out there when it comes down to it. And the exploration is never really a thing in a lot of Pokemon games, the mainline Pokemon ones. But this one brought exploration with the crafting system to a whole new level, to where you want to pick up stuff, you want to go through and get everything and craft it and just have fun with it. So the exploration is extremely fun, and with the seamlessness of being able to just throw out the Pokeball and get materials very quickly and hop right back in and out, it creates an even better collecting experience than a Monster Hunter where you have to do an animation every single time, or other games where you have to sit down and pick up the animation. It's just seamless. You just throw the Pokeball, they break something, or you just run right over it and then you just collect it. That type of stuff, to where it doesn't break what you're doing, just creates, once again, another game that you just want to keep playing and playing and playing. I don't know how many times I've turned off a Pokemon game after I just like load up a battle and it just keeps on loading in and out, or I'm trying to explore something and like it's just taking a long time and I'm just like, all right, I'm good. And other games too, other open-ended games as well. And this one just doesn't have that at this point. So it's very refreshing to see. And I think that yes, they'd have to carry over some of these exploration things to the next generation of Pokemon. Now, next up, new combat options, agile and strong style. Now, this is something that I'm not sure will come over to the next ones, but I did want to highlight it because I do think that it's something that they're going to look into and see how they can implement a version of this agile and strong style. Because what this does, this creates even more gameplay options, but it's not balanced for multiplayer. So it's not balanced for someone to be able to go 3 times in a row or 2 times in a row, or do the strong style and knock you out even faster than what's going on, along with some of the tweaks that they made to certain moves, like status effects like poison, or like getting sleep put on you, getting drowsy instead of being able to just go straight to sleep. So I mean, so there's a lot of different things that they've done to kind of mix this up, but I do think that the Pokemon Company is going to look at how agile and strong style work, look at how sleep and other different status effects work, and maybe implement a light version of those, or some type of something like that, with maybe certain Pokemon that have access to that in order for balance or other things along that nature. So I do feel that they're going to find a way to kind of mix this into the regular Pokemon experience as well, because agile and strong style is really good, but as of right now it wouldn't work because it's pretty much every Pokemon can use it. And if you had a Pokemon that had access to that here in this one, it wouldn't be fair if all the other Pokemon didn't have access to that. Then once again, you might break it when it comes to how it works, just because there's like the different bar with when they attack. So it's all completely different. It's not set up like normal Pokemon games, but that's okay. Once again, I think that they'll find certain ways to kind of mix it in and everything. So I do like that. Now, next up, the added difficulty with Alpha and the Noble battles. This is one of the most important things, and it's something that for this game, it's more important than for a regular Pokemon game, because in a regular Pokemon game, the difficulty comes from fighting other people, fighting other trainers. You want a hard Pokemon game, go online and ranked battles and see what happens to you. You're gonna fight against people who know what they're doing. Heck, I used to fight competitively and it was very tough when it comes to those online ranked battles, but also very fun if you're into it. But they're going to have to try to figure out a way to build that same excitement and difficulty into the single player experience for the Pokemon games, because they still offer a single player experience along with the multiplayer with all of the normal mainline games that we're used to. And that's been one of the big criticisms and one of the reasons why I just kind of stopped playing too, because I'm no longer interested in doing the multiplayer stuff just because I don't have the time to do it. But I'd love to have a great single player Pokemon experience along with the multiplayer. Now, it's hard to balance, but they need to find some type of way to add in some of that difficulty, add in some of that stuff. It doesn't have to be through Alpha and Noble battles, but they have to find a way to have their own line of that. But I think that they will look at the Alpha and Noble battles and see how they can mix things up outside of the traditional battles that you normally see in Pokemon games. So I think that this is something that's going to be for the future as well. Now, the big quality of life improvements, I think that a lot of the stuff with the game, being able to see what moves you have, being able to access a lot more stuff a lot faster in the overworld screen, being able to switch the Pokemon right there on the fly, being able to switch your items right there on the fly, get berries and throw them out to Pokemon. Just doing all of these little things that just add up, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the seamlessness. It just works so well with the quality of life with that, and you just feel like you're on a roll when you're playing this game. You just don't want to stop, and you can just do anything, and it's fast and it's fluid and it's fun. And that's the biggest thing here that I would love to see with some of those quality of life stuff with the regular mainline Pokemon games, is have those big quality of life things with switching Pokemon, not having to press the start button and kind of go into the menus and everything like that. Have it to where you have more of the in-depth quality of life things that Pokemon Legends does do, like with the items and the berries and all of that. So very good thing here, and I think that they have something going for them for the next Pokemon games, but they have to bring over some of these other things, especially with changing the Pokemon. I mean, that is really key with having Pokemon play fun and fast. So I do think that they're going to do some of that stuff in the future as well. Now, the Pokedex requests, I think that this is interesting because before in the past, whenever you wanted to fill out a Pokedex, all you had to do was just catch the Pokemon, it logs it, and there you go. But not in this game. In Pokemon Legends, you actually catch the Pokemon and it's cool. Okay, you've got an entry, but you're not done. You actually have to do more research on it. You have to catch it a number of times. You have to defeat it a number of times. You have to do multiple different things. And once you get up to level 10 on there from multiple different requests, you've actually completed the Pokedex request. But if you do more, it'll actually increase its chance for shinies and other types of rewards. So that gives you the drive to keep going. I've never had the drive to fill out the Pokedex in any game. Like in any game outside of the original Generation 1 and Generation 2. Those are the two that I filled out the Pokedex, and I was like, okay. But after that, it just got tiring because I was just recatching the same things, and it was just, okay, you just catch it and that's it. But with this, at least they give you tasks and they give you rewards for doing so. So it feels a lot more rewarding to fill out that Pokedex. It feels a lot more rewarding to do those requests because you'll get extra money or you'll get extra benefits with that in the game. So to me, that already creates something that they need to look into for the next Pokemon game, the Generation 9. Have it to where the Pokedex means more than just, I catch the Pokemon, it fills out the entry, dun, 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 dun. Okay, done. You know, this one feels like you really are exploring. You really are filling out that Pokedex. You really are getting information like a scientist would or something like that. So I do feel that, once again, that is a big thing that definitely needs to be there going forward. Now, what will happen with Generation 9? Will Generation 9 just be taken over by the Legends brand? I don't think so. A lot of you guys have asked me that. And I think that they're going to do two going forward. You're going to have the Legend line of single player Pokemon games, and maybe they add in some co-op, which would be really cool if they add in co-op in future entries of the game. Maybe they do that, but I don't think the Legends line is going to go anywhere or it's going to take over the main series. I think you're going to get the Legends line, you're going to get those type of games, and they're going to innovate within that single player or maybe even co-op experience, because if the game is co-op, you can balance it a bit better than having it be PvP with the aspects that are in Pokemon Legends. So they're going to have that, and then they're also going to have the new generation, so the Generation 9 and all of that, to where you get the multiplayer Pokemon. But like I stated here, they're going to borrow quite a number of things from Pokemon Legends for future games. I think that this is the future when it comes to multiple different things that they've done, and I think that they're going to settle on this style of other mainline games, because this is still Pokemon Legends, a mainline Pokemon game. Pokemon Company did confirm it. They did confirm that. So I do think that they're going to look at that and say, hey, we can do this every single 2 years or so. Then we can also do this Pokemon game every single 2 years as well, and kind of keep a good balance. We do have some of the other games. We have the Let's Go, which is done by Game Freak. We have the Chibi remakes like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, which an outside company does with some consultation with Game Freak. But I do feel that these two games would be really good to focus on. And a lot of you guys have asked me about the expansion or DLC that could be coming. And I think that instead of having every single different type of game, like with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then also with Let's Go, then also with the normal generation, and also with Legends, just do these two going forward. and then you can just do expansions in between. So if you need something else for that next year, you can just do like a big expansion for that game, a big expansion for Legends maybe later in the year. Maybe they announce it at a Nintendo Direct or at a Pokemon Direct and it comes out later in the year. That would be really good and get people buy. I think that people would love to get like a whole different area or section and different battles and different stuff added into Pokemon Legends. They would pay for that. People would pay 30 bucks or more to get that type of thing, like the Isle of Armor that they did for like the Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I feel that that could be what you do going forward instead of having all these different types of styles of Pokemon games. We really don't need that. We honestly don't need Let's Go, and we don't need the chibi remakes anymore, in my opinion, at least. I know some people would love to see some of the other games come over and you have your multiplayer and everything, but I just don't think that we need that. They can spend that time and effort or whatever on putting those Pokemon into the next game, and then they can just worry about the DLC for either of these games, right? Like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, that DLC was good, and then also with Legends, making DLC for the Legends line, and just go forward with that. So that's what I think they're going to do. I'm not sure if they will 100%, but I feel that Pokemon Legends Arceus is the future overall because they're going to take a lot of ideas and they're going to go and stick with that. The Pokemon Company doesn't always stick with every different type of style of Pokemon game that they do make. They stop making certain ones or they focus in on one thing, but they really experimented with the Switch so far. And I think that they might settle on these here, but we're going to have to wait and see, guys. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but I do feel that this is the future of the Pokemon games in two separate lines. And of course, the regular generation, Generation 9, is going to feed off and borrow quite a number of things while also innovating and putting in new things as well for it. You know, I don't think it's going to rest on its Sword and Shield laurels and everything. I think that they're definitely going to improve the experience from that as well. So it should be fun to see exactly where it goes going forward, because I've never been more excited for Pokemon's future than I am right now. So what are your thoughts on this when it comes to Pokemon Legends? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and we will see you for the next one. Peace.